real man. Yeah. I make a real man.
What's good, Baddies fam? It's your girl CC back on the Baddie commentary clock. And trust me, you're not ready for what we're about to unpack from Baddies Gone Wild, episode 12, season finale. I won't be breaking down confessional looks in this video because, as you all may know, this was the last episode for the season of Baddies Gone Wild, season 1. And they didn't premiere any new confessional looks this episode besides the ones that were done in the house. But be sure to stay tuned because I do plan on dropping a Baddies Gone Wild reunion recap and confessional clock reunion look pyramid edition. I'm gonna do 2 separate videos for y'all. I know this channel is dedicated to spilling the fashion tea on reality TV, so I figured I would incorporate both. I'm gonna recap the episode and give my thoughts as we go along. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab something to drink because we're gonna get right into it. The episode starts off with the girls. In the first van, we have Oxy, Daisy, Shay, Jaden, Cupcake, and Coco. And in the other sprinter, we have Bahati, Rella, Gloss Up, and Hurricane M. Since this is their last day, they're getting ready to do an activity. And I'm glad to see them actually get out the house and see the beautiful country that is Brazil. So the discussion starts off with the girls sharing their thoughts on who they think should get the Baddies Gone Wild chain. So Coco, out of all people, starts off by saying she thinks she deserves the chain because she fought Daisy 3 times, messed her eye up, and she be doing what she want to do and standing on her own 2 feet and hasn't followed anyone. And in my mind, I'm really confused. Is she watching the same show we're watching? Because I cannot recall too many instances where Coco had to stand on her own. She's always with the group of bullies, in my opinion. She's only had about 3 fights and 2 of them were not the most advanced fighters. Or no, she only fought 3 people and 2 of them weren't the most advanced fighters. So I don't understand how she thinks that would be a unique enough experience for her to get a chain. You haven't really stood on business and you haven't stood up for what's right. You are a follower and you and Daisy are both a delusional match made in heaven because it's like y'all can easily manipulate each other. If anything, you were an instigator. I still can't believe you managed to break up a friendship, lie about what was said, and not get your lick back at the one who blacked your eye. Like, she altered your whole look for the entire season. We don't even know what Coco looks like with normal eyes, and not to mention you talking yourself out of a chain at the end of the day, and that really blew me. But we're gonna get into it later when we get to that part of the episode. But now we're on the sprinter van with the other group of girls, and this is so set up in my opinion because why do they keep separating Bahati in the sprinter vans from her group of friends? I'm pretty sure if she had the option, she would have at least rolled with the other girls. But anyway, Rella G's opens up the discussion about the Baddies chain and what she said about all of them eventually getting a Baddies chain because their OGs was really delulu to me. Like, I really wish the Baddies never learned this term because it really doesn't apply in this situation. An OG is someone who's been in it for years. Let's be clear, when we say Natalie is the only OG bad girl and baddie on Zeus right now, period. Everyone else like Rolly and Scotty are OG baddies. Everyone else other than them is fairly new. And guest celebrities don't even count because they came from other shows. They're barely a part of the experience when we say that. Back to the sprinter van. It really baffles me that Rella, Hurricane, and TT are trying to be nice to Bahati right now. They are so fake. Like, I could just see right through them. TT hops into her confessional to make a disclaimer to Bahati saying, well, I hope you don't think you King Tut because she not holding nothing over my head when it comes to the chain situation because she wanted her Baddies chain from Natalie and not from Daisy and Bahati. Now, I guess that makes sense when you put it in that perspective, but I still don't agree that she deserves one in the first place. Like Bahati said, never mind, I'm jumping too far ahead. So back in the other sprinter van, Jaden explains how she thinks she deserves the chain. And I'm like, girl, please, the audacity of you to think that you deserve a chain and you let multiple people punk you in the house. Miss, I don't got no shoes, my arm hurt, and you pulling my hair. No, you were very vocal about what you didn't like or didn't want to deal with, but to think you stood on business every time is kind of delusional, just a little bit. But she says, I'm standing on what I believe in and I'm not letting nobody put batteries in my back, which is true, I guess, because who would be putting the battery in your back to begin with? None of the girls on your side are like immature or instigators in that way, except maybe Oxy, but I still think that Emery dragged this whole situation with you way too far, and every time she opened up her mouth about it, I just get instantly sleepy. Here we go again. In the back of my mind, I'm just wondering why Shay or Oxy aren't in the talks for the chain. Is it because they're injured, or Like, I'm confused because if anybody deserved it next, it would be one of them. I'm really upset that they didn't have more to say about this too. So the girls finally make it to the activity and we find out it's football. Football, which is what they call soccer in America. They get split into two teams by Daisy and Bahati. Daisy decides they're the wild team, the green team, and I guess Bahati's team is the baddies team and they're like the pink team. Then we got Ming doing the little twerk to be the goalie, which was funny. So Daisy picks TT, Rella, Jaden, and Janelle's. On the other team is Bahati, Gloss Up, Hurricane M, Coco, Shadell. And you know, Oxy and Shay agree to be the cheerleaders. Then we got Big Ant, the security guard, on ref duties. This was funny to see him hype about this because this is why they need to do more activities so the security guards don't be so stressed. Like, they be so stressed, I could see it in their eyes. But this was lit. The Brazilians was so hyped, shouting Olay, and the crowd was turned. I know it probably felt like a real game to them. They was tearing Ming up in that goalie too. And the team that won was Daisy's team, and that was so sweet to me to see them all happy together for winning and whatnot. But they being fake anyway. So after the game, everyone's in good spirits, and Glossa says she wished they got to do more activities like that. Gloss don't even care that she lost any of the fights or the game. She just want to have fun. And to me, I feel like Gloss just happy to be included in this experience because I can't believe she really stayed after getting beat up. I thought she was going to go home for her mental health, but she stuck it out. She actually stuck it out. Now, skipping ahead a bit, the girls get ready for their final supper, and it looks like the theme might have been an all-white party, but a few of the girls did not understand the assignment, but they really messing up the aesthetic right now. But it was Gloss's idea, so maybe some of them really didn't have any white. And Gloss gets in her confessional to say she wants to talk and eat like grown women, but girl, you know for sure that's not gonna happen. You know where you at. And Gloss's face the whole time, she was just so over it. It's Baddies, so you should have expected this. But all y'all missing is Natalie saying, does anybody have anything to get off their chest? And that's literally how it's gonna go. Like, it's a part of the Baddies' daily routine. But before the dinner starts, Daisy and Bahati decide to have a sit down to talk about who will receive the third chain. And she says how she hopes Bahati is on the same page. And I just know this is about to be interesting. I love Bahati's wig color, not so much the wig, but her stockings are cute and the dress fits her as well. Daisy also really got that wig together real quick because it was looking a hot mess at that football game. So they begin to discuss who Daisy feels like who she believes deserves the chain and who she believes doesn't deserve the chain anymore. So Bahati opens her mouth and has the audacity to nominate Jaden first for the Baddies chain. And I'm really side-eyeing Bahati because I really don't understand where this logic is coming from and what is she seeing from Jaden that we didn't get to see. Jaden got bullied, so maybe that's why she keeps saying it. But Jaden also lets the girls punk her one too many times, and that's just not a Baddie in my opinion. But I just can't believe out of all her friends that she would say Jaden first. Not even Shay, who been standing on business since day one. Not even Oxy, who still held her own with the glass in her foot. I'm just so disappointed in Bahati in this moment because she really switched sides to still not be liked by the side you still tiptoeing on. Them girls do not like you or deserve any of your nominations for the chain. Tighten up, Bahati. I agree with Daisy saying that Jaden has to be pushed for a wild baddie, so she did wait a little long, even though the season was only like a week long. Next, Daisy brings up TT, and Bahati says that she believes TT is a baddie and that she puts it on. She's been standing on business, which she likes, but the main con she'd had with her was the fact that it's hard for her to listen. Also, the jumping, she just doesn't believe it's baddie behavior, and I'm like, thank you, Bahati. At least you're not blind to that. Daisy talking about she didn't see it. Like, okay, Daisy, because you see everything, or because you didn't see it, it didn't happen. But Bahati definitely doesn't believe that TT was standing on business. In my opinion, TT was so thirsty for a storyline that grazing up against her while you're in a fight with another girl is enough for her to start a beef with you. If that's not thirsty for a fight, I don't know what is. But Bahati knows she can fight. She just believes that there's more to being a baddie than just jumping and hating. And I agree, TT was so illogical and immature. Then Daisy brings up Coco. When Daisy brings up Coco, Bahati responds that she doesn't feel like Coco deserves it because she hasn't really done much. And I also agree with Bahati on this as well. In my opinion, Coco had an easier ride than Gloss Up, besides that bloody eye. Coco literally played the scary instigator role, and anytime she was in hot water, she made sure to redirect the conversation to somebody else. Coco is a liar and a gaslighter, and that's all I really got from her on Baddies. I don't know about her in real life though, so don't take my word for how she is in real life. But Daisy doubles down and says she believes Coco deserves it because she hasn't been trying to start no beef with nobody and she's been neutral. And I'm over here like, who? When? When was Coco neutral to the other girls? I think the other girls that we're talking about, they go by the quad. But when was she cool with the quad? When she let the girls come in the room and bully Jaden and Shay, or when she lied about what was said to her by Bahati, or maybe it was when she was riding in the Sprinter van with y'all. She never fought any of the other girls, so obviously she was more cool with the other girls like Emery, Rella, Cupcake, and TT. She fought Jaden twice, so when was she ever neutral? Neutral is an overstatement. And honestly, after this discussion, this is where the episode went downhill for me, or it started to go downhill for me. This is when everyone just started acting super delusional. Then they bring up Emery, and what Daisy said about M was agreeable, because I do believe that Emery can't put her feelings aside from the Jaden beef. It's not something you have to keep crying about. It's not like Jaden is keeping the initial issue with the beef going. It's really you. There was even a time she tried to squash it, and you got so aggressive about it. At this point, we're tired of hearing about y'all yell about it. No, you don't deserve the chain if you only if you keep having the same argument. So now Bahati suggests that they go downstairs, eat some food, and hear what the other girls have to say about what they think they deserve the chain for. So they both agree, right? But the way she said this, like it was about to be so simple, and I'm just thinking to myself like, girl, it's about to be a brawl or an argument. So M gets into the house confessional and says how she's going to be pissed if she doesn't get the chain. And I'm just like, well, girl, be prepared to be upset because they already said you wasn't getting it. But hold on, I like her Chanel outfit though. The nails are super cute and the gold accessories are eating as well. I think she had that on in one of her previous confessionals, but that slick back is getting so played out and tired. Like I'm so sick of seeing it. Then Coco does a confessional as well, and she says she deserves the chain. She knows a lot of others think they deserve the chain as well, but you're not a real one if you don't think that she deserves to get the chain. I like this black wig she's wearing in the confessional. I'm just happy to see her in something different other than that purple wig. Then some of the other girls come downstairs to get ready to start the dinner. And why does Rella look like she going to homecoming? Not even prom, but straight to homecoming. With that Disney princess dress and this green hair that she's been wearing all season. This is how I know it's only been a week, because why she still got the same wig on. But they decide to do a wild Baddies take shots toast. Ming doing her twerk again was a little cringe because she was acting like the girls was gonna turn up for her or something. It was just really like awkward energy when she did it this time. Like, look at me. It was funny the first time though. Then the next group of girls come down, and of course Janelle's looking like Queen Naja, but she's wearing a brown dress and a slick back bun, and she was really giving elegant. I like this look on her. But after this moment, they started doing the wild Baddies take shots back and forth. I thought this was a key and a little lighthearted prank that they did on each other. So Bahati goes to get the remaining girls so they can finally start the dinner. And Oxy, Shay, and Jaden finally join Bahati and the rest of the girls. And they look so miserable when they sit down at the table. Not like they are, but like they're just so over the experience as a whole. Like they got their guard up. Shay arm hurting, Oxy foot probably still hurt. And then you got Jaden getting little man by Emery the entire season. If expect anyone to not wear white, it would be her. So TT pops the discussion off with asking them why they never ate with them and why every time they ate food, it was in the room. And Oxy told them it's because she didn't feel comfortable. Like, duh. Like, I don't know why she would ask such a rhetorical question like they cool, or like she even owe you an answer. You know y'all not cool, so why would I eat next to you? Why would I trust to eat next to you? And Jada adds how she not about to kiss up to nobody or dick ride anybody. And as she's saying this, you can just see a dark cloud come over Emery's face. Like, you should not let anyone have that much control over your emotions. Talking about Jaden be having the veins coming out her head. Like, no, Em, you be having your veins come out of your head. And she just instantly pops it off. And I'm like, here we go. Another pointless argument with her again. It's the same argument. And as Em is telling her that she on her every time and to shut up, she starts cussing her out. And in my opinion, I wouldn't take that type of disrespect. All Jaden had to say in response was no. Like, that's not enough in my opinion. You don't have to fight her, but you definitely show in this moment that she can little girl you and you're not gonna do nothing about it. And Shay just giving her a side eye energy like, girl, that's not it. Then Jaden get to asking, why does the topic of discussion always have to be me? And why y'all always jumping on me? Girl, don't worry about it. It ain't gonna be a good reason anyway. And Emery responds how she's always inserting herself into something that has nothing to do with her and to shut the F up sometimes. But Emery, didn't your friend right next to you just ask them why they were always eating in their room? That was a question, and Oxy and Jaden answered. So this is how we know you're a little delusional. Jaden talking about she tired of yelling. She's sounding like a little girl. If you're tired, Jaden, you should have just left with Erica. But I'm thinking that you wanted to stay with your friends, and you can just tell how this made Shay and Oxy feel some type of way. But they not going to say nothing because they're on injured reserve right now. TT says she was tired of them arguing and that Jaden talked so much. But in my opinion, Hurricane M was the one doing the talking. But you know, she not going to say that because that's their friend. And yeah. So they steady taking shots. Then Coco asks everyone who got an issue with her. And I'm just like, girl, please. Nobody said they had an issue with you. You always had an issue with other people and just making up stuff. Talking about she been showed leadership skills. And again, I'm still confused because I never saw this side of Coco. Were you a leader when you got that bat up out the room? Oh no, you were the leader when you led Daisy Bahati's friendship into a ditch. Talking about she never heard anyone have to tell her, hey, Coco, you need to go get in the paint. You need to go handle that. Because you stayed in the background. After that whole thing with Daisy and them, you didn't have nothing to say. And if we're being honest, this is all Natalie's fault because she set them up. Put them in situations where they gonna have to fight, where they want to fight. Then pretend she wants them to stop fighting, but tells them they can get a chain for doing their big one. Their big one. The problem is everyone has their own criteria or thoughts on what they think a baddie is and why they think they deserve a chain. And that's the problem because Natalie isn't real enough to begin with. She rewards bad behavior but expects peace, and that's why y'all will always be lost when y'all come on the show. It'll never be an experience that you could predict because you can never predict no limits. But Coco saying she never tried to egg stuff on was delusional too because you definitely egged that fight on with Bahati and Daisy. And that she thinks the chain will look nice on her. Bahati is literally nodding and smiling like a proud mom. And the girls actually clapped for her. Bahati gets into her confessional to say how she's not gonna lie after hearing Coco and Jaden's speech that she believes Coco deserves a chain instead of Jaden. And in my opinion, I feel like Bahati is very observant. And she saw how Jaden basically allowed for Emery to little girl her. She probably didn't like that. She felt as though that was probably pussy of her and peeped game. Like, nah, Jaden, that ain't it. After they hear all the girls make their speech, Bahati wraps it up by saying that she deserves her chain, whether people believe she did or not. And Oxy, Shay, and Jaden were like, no, you deserve your chain. I feel like she did too. Bahati does her little walk with the chain in her hand, and this low-key triggered the other girls because they started talking over each other. Ming start mugging Rella side-eye Bahati, and Janelle's actually looks happy for Bahati in this moment. Rella saying Bahati looked at them like, I'm the one that got the chain is crazy. She never said those words alone. So Rella was twisting Bahati's words. Like, girl, calm down. As soon as Bahati and Daisy go for their chat, Bahati openly admits that she thinks she's going to change her mind, who she thinks deserves a chain. And the first person who she believed deserved it was Coco. And I'm shocked because this is the same girl that lied on you. What's up with Bahati and not nominating any of her friends for the baddie chain? But she felt like when Coco was speaking, she stood on more business than Jaden. And in the moment, I agree, but I still don't feel like she deserves one. And I'm so irritated that Oxy and Shay on mute right now. Like, did y'all lose y'all voice or something? Y'all real quiet. But she thinks Jaden still deserves a chain, but there's not enough chains for everyone. But in reality, she wants to say she thinks that Coco deserves a chain before Jaden. That's really what it is. And Jaden just got punked in front of everybody. So there's that. Then Daisy responds with the person who she thinks deserves the chain the most is TT. And that last night she said or did something that she felt like none of the other girls would do. And I'm just like, are you referring to her whining, hooping, and hollering about not getting a chain? Is that what you're referring to, Daisy? That's not chain worthy. And then to say because she said she was going to congratulate the person who got the chain, yeah, after crying for about 20 minutes. So that congratulations wasn't genuine. Daisy felt like Bahati should be real and give it to TT, but Bahati feels like there are areas where she hasn't been a baddie like. And this is the moment where Daisy starts power tripping again because she says that, well, you're here to assist me with picking the chain. Bahati's like, I'm not here to assist you. I'm not your assistant. And Daisy's like, yeah, you are. And Bahati's like, bitch, you wish, I swear. And then Daisy's like, I don't, because I know it's true. And Bahati's like, and I know it's false. And Daisy's like, okay, that's cool. Bahati gets annoyed because she has a perception that they're supposed to work together to come up with the person who gets the chain, while Daisy thinks that Bahati is supposed to be assisting her with deciding who gets the chain. When they played the clip back, it did seem as though Natalie insinuated that Bahati would be assisting Daisy, but she also ended it by saying that y'all had to decide together. So Daisy is kind of trying to have selective hearing right now because you're trying to only listen to the first thing that she said, but she ended it by saying together. And you're only choosing to acknowledge the part of the conversation that you like. So that's really what that was. What confuses me about this is that she feels like she could never save TT if there was limited water to go around. But the girl who sculpted you, you can sit here and be cordial and nice and have a conversation with her. But it's cool because I heard she got her look back at the reunion. Daisy starts getting real impatient with Bahati because she starts chiming in while she's talking. And she really believes that Bahati isn't being real because she doesn't want to give it to TT. Coco is the first person that Daisy nominated to have the chain in the first place. Now that Bahati agrees, now you want to backpedal and put all your eggs in TT basket? So Daisy's like, even though we fought, Bahati leans back and Daisy gets paranoid talking about, you about to hit me? And Bahati's like, no, this is my last day. I'm trying to have a good night. Like, Daisy, you better be on guard with Bahati. It's giving fake cordial and paranoid. But she attempts to convince Bahati by giving her fake props for getting her chain when you're the reason that Bahati even got recognition to get a chain to begin with. And she really, really, really believes that TT is one of the girls who deserves that chain. And I'm just so tired of the chain talk at this point and talking about she don't know what weird vendetta Bahati has against TT, but she's giving her the chain. And that she's in charge of whoever is going to get the chain, talking about they should be able to agree on it. That's who she's giving her chain to, and that she's done with the conversation. Like, girl, bye. It's not your chain. Bahati's like, you're not giving that chain away unless I say so, bro. Daisy walks off, and Bahati starts taking her shoes off. See, now, I feel like this the old Bahati coming back, because my sis already know it's about to be some BS when she get back in the diner room. She's just trying to stay ready so she don't have to get ready. So instantly, she gets to unlacing them heels and snatching them stockings off because she already know the girl's gonna be on that BS when she get back. She side-eyed the security guards like, y'all better get ready. And Daisy trying to get to the girls first too, they instantly follow her. But I feel like some time went by between this because Daisy had like got a drink and they just seemed like they had like took a little break or something. So of course some time goes by because Daisy talking about she want another shot before they start. Now Bahati has re-entered the room and tells the girls that her and Daisy have had a discussion on who they think should get the Baddies chain and that they couldn't come to an agreement. She says she thinks Coco deserves it and that Daisy thinks that TT deserves it. Daisy trying to little girl Bahati now again talking about, can you not say that and sit your ass down? And Daisy gets mad and says that Bahati is trying to sit there and act like Coco was her first pick. I don't remember her saying anything about Coco being her first pick, but she definitely just told you she thinks Coco deserves it. And Daisy brings up the fact that she feels like Coco been doing her big one, and in my mind you saying all this to Coco and Bahati agrees, but you're mad because she don't agree when it comes to giving it to TT. Daisy ain't doing nothing but complicating the situation on purpose because y'all are supposed to come to an agreement. So if y'all both agreed that Coco should get the chain, that's who the chain should have went to, even though I don't feel like she deserved it. She points out how Bahati said that Coco didn't deserve a chain, and I swear Coco has selective hearing because this is all she cared about for the rest of the episode. From this moment forward, I felt like Coco talked herself out of a Baddies chain because she directed her anger towards the wrong person once again. If she just took the time to truly analyze the situation and what was said to her, all she had to do was convince Daisy that she deserved the chain too. Like, you going after the person who wanted to give it to you is slow. Now Bahati done changed her mind on wanting to give it to you, and now neither one of them believes you deserve the change. So now you're back to square one. Congrats. I don't even want to go word for word on what happened after this because I feel like the whole episode just went downhill from here and it was just really pointless to keep repeating what happened. Coco really got mad about Bahati when she should have been checking with Daisy on why she didn't think she deserved it anymore. Bahati is way too trusting of Daisy and Coco and the rest of the girls on the other side of the table. She gave them too much grace, and it's easy for them to just go back into the habit of disrespecting her because she just too graceful. In my opinion, I still think she should have nominated Shay or Oxy. But I'm not surprised that they turned on her again when they realized they weren't getting the change. But I don't know who is more delusional for thinking they deserved it, Jaden or Coco. Coco, I'm still not over you allowing this girl to alter your look, but you advocate and turn a blind eye to her BS anytime you can. And Cupcake, please, you're annoying and you always want to start something late and after the fact. Spare us, please. I really don't have much to say about the girls except for I can definitely tell that they are all fairly young and don't believe in logic. Stepping back and looking at every episode, it's just amazing that they managed to do all of this in the span of like 2 weeks. When I seen that this was the finale episode, I was so shocked because I felt like the girls were just beginning to get settled in the new house. Maybe they felt like the Zeus bill was getting ran up too high. But obviously the budget isn't budgeting the way the main baddie show is because this season was super short. But all jokes aside, I hope these girls really learn from this experience. Have self-awareness. Don't be a follower. Don't be a bully. Don't let entitlement make you blind to the truth, and being with the big group isn't always a good thing. In fact, it's a sign that you're a follower. All right, Baddies fam, that's a wrap on this week's Baddie Commentary Clock, Baddies Gone Wild edition. Thanks for hanging out with me. We clocked them. We didn't critique them this week, but we kept it real. So stay tuned if you want to know more about my commentary on fashion, film, and art. As always, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video, and I'll see y'all next time.